And whenever there's a new year, majority of people seek to, clink, clink, tighten things up, tone things up. Because I have been granted permission, in today's video, we shall discuss how I joked about not being able to wear these particular jeans, and you'll see on the screen. And I wound up losing weight and being able to fit those jeans less than a month later from my birthday. So I'm going to start with the backstory of where everything started. I'm going to bring it all the way back to about 2019. That is when I decided to challenge myself after eating everything I thought I was big and bad enough to eat. You might see a couple things on the screen concerning fast food, fried food, processed food. Baby, I ate it. The fast food chains, the local places at the time, I clocked them places. I was eating good. Not really though. You see what I did there? No. Okay. June 2019, I said, you know what? I had been feeling groggy. And see, here's the thing. When you eat fast food and eat the processed food and the fried food, it tastes great. However, you should eat it in moderation and save it only for special occasions or maybe celebratory or a cheat day. It should be specified in one of those categories, okay? Yeah. So it starts to take a toll on you. You start to feel groggy, tired. It starts showing up some kind of way. And so in June 2019, God had me to just forego meat altogether, including seafood. That counted as meat too. Okay? Pause if need be. And I did it for a week. I felt great. And I said, you know what? If I'm going to last a week, I stretched it to another week. And then I just kept going week after week until a month turned into a month and a week and 2 weeks. And for about 3 years, that means 2019, prior to 2020, 2021, 22 to 20, maybe 23-ish is when I've had that journey. So I'm going to give you both sides of what that was like and how it worked pertaining to even me wearing hygiene products and how they perform. Because it's really not about just I'm going to spray perfume and you shower good. Because if your body chemistry doesn't take it well, and you're also not, what you're putting in your body is also not helping you as well. It is causing you to expel, rotten potatoes, cheese, this past expiration date. You could spray on all the perfume in the world, baby. If you're not putting the right fuel in there, it's not going to help. That's all. So that's where it started. And I'll tell you this, when I was meatless, I was vegetarian trying to be vegan. Didn't quite make it there. Now that part I'm not allowed to share, but I will say this. You must know your body. And I'm going to put a disclaimer across this whole entire video as well. Also, I'm going to try my best to keep this video very short a lot going on. Yeah, that's where it started. And then about 23, almost around the same time, maybe July-ish, 23, I just stopped. But I'm going to tell you this, when I was just vegetarian, just cutting out the meats, but not exactly the dairy, and I was trying to, that's why I gained the most weight from. I was thickum, okay? I was thick. Ain't nothing wrong with being thickums. Let me just put that out for the record. There is nothing wrong with being thickums. You understand me? Okay. All right. And so I had to transition for personal reasons around June, July 23, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. I'll try to correct it to put it in this video as best as I can. And I transitioned right back to eating all the meats, but I exercise extreme caution and extreme discernment. You see what I'm saying? Because, you got to know where, the local places, your local grocery stores, stuff like that. You got to know where you're getting your stuff from. You feel me? Okay. Also not a dietitian. That's where it started. So I picked up the weight gain being vegetarian by eating the more processed vegetarian, vegan type of things. Baby, I found it and I fried it and baked it or bought it and it was processed. It was meatless this and meatless that, meatless crawl, burgers. I was eating it, including at the fast food chain restaurants. I think between 2019 and a little bit after that thing in 20, I think that was the biggest boom of vegetarian and vegan foods and stuff like that. So I'm going somewhere with this, okay? Trust God and trust the process at the same time, okay? I'm asking you to trust both. Now, the transition happened around 23. You see the time frame of when I went back to eating the meats, eating the seafood, eating the fish, it just going back to eating it all, but with extreme caution and also with extreme discernment. So I started to notice that the weight hadn't really fell off. And so I was in this particular video here and I made a joke. I said, size 3. Babe, if I try to fit in these, they gonna have to take me to the hospital, cutting the pants off me. I just joked about it, you know, and you have to be careful about joking about stuff, because the word of God says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. Scripture right here. And those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. I spoke it. Somebody must have wanted to see me fit them pants, including myself, because I forgot about it after I said in the video and put the video up and went on about my business. You know, I ain't keeping track of that. I'm going about my business. I got to keep going. You see what I'm saying? Next thing you know, the very next month, which was my birthday month, boom, I found all of this. I mean, baby, I'm wearing one of the size of pants now. All that room was in my pants. I want y'all to see. All the room is in my pants. These are the same pants. And I've been able to keep it off. And that was in 23, my birthday month. Do you understand that? How much time has passed? That's 2 years and 2 months, about to be 2 years and 3 months, probably by the time y'all see this video. And so I wanted to share with y'all as soon as I got permission and just the time, just whenever God allowed me to. And I was just looking at, what did I do? And it wasn't me. What happened between me joking about not being able to fit a pair of pants and they're going to take to the hospital, to less than a month later, my birthday month? All that room between my stomach and the waistline of the pants where, you know, the button and the zipper. All that space. A second person could have got in there and wore. There's no way. I've never filled these pants back up ever again up until this point. And I am so thankful to God for that. Now, I enjoyed being thickums, okay? I didn't mind it. But there's some things that come with it that if you're all thickums, but you're not maintaining what you're eating and doing and like cutting things to just in moderation, you're not cutting your treats that you have, whatever you consider to be a treat. Because treats are not just sweets, bars. Treats are considered burgers, both savory and sweet foods. Okay. If you're not doing that, then it's like, you could be thickums. It's still a blessing. But you need to be healthy thickums. You need to be healthy thickums. That's all. Ain't nothing wrong with being thickums. I've always said that. As long as I've had this channel and prior to that, ain't nothing wrong with being thickums. But you need to be healthy thickums. You feel me? Yeah. Okay. I'm trying not to talk much. Ooh, Lord, give me strength. So when I noticed that, why do I have all this gap of space in between my stomach and my waistline of my pants? These pants is now too big. You ever seen the side by side that weight loss testimonials that people tell, and then you see all that space between? That was me. I'm like, yeah. So, and I'm just like, what happened between me transitioning back to eating meats? I'm finna get into what particular type, because look, I don't want you eating anything. Baby, you better check it out, okay? You need to know what you eating. I'm gonna leave it at that. What was the difference? I'm like, I went back to eating meat and I lost weight. I also was I had stopped recording them and I had stopped including in the videos. I was doing what I like to call cardio walks. People estimate, let me say this before I get into the changes I made with the specific categories of foods I eat. A lot of people underestimate what walking can do as far as your weight loss. And it's not the fat that you need to look for losing. It's you lose inches, and then before you know it, you will realize you have burned the fat away. Whenever you're seeing that your pants is getting looser and looser, I mean, some of my tightest fitting pants when I was thickums is now, I need a belt for them. I'm not talking the pants I'm wearing today, talking to y'all about this. I'm like, there's another pair of pants. There's two particular pants. One is zipper, one is another type of fastening of the pants. And I went to go put them on a couple months. I'm like, I ain't wore these in about them same 2 years and 3 or 4 months. I went to go put them thing on. They fit, but I had to keep pulling them up. I'm like, that's a good sign. You also want to make sure that if you're aiming to lose weight, that one, you're talking to your dietitian. That's all. Number 2, you're doing it in a healthy way. And 3, it's not affecting your quality of life. What is quality of life? Sleep, food, what your whole life consists of. From the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Okay. All right, so here are the changes I made. And this is just coming from the grace of God reminding me of what it is, because it's just there, because I'm still actively doing it. Here are some changes I made when I went back to eating meat. Now, am I saying that you're going to become thickums when you choose to, I want to be vegetarian or vegan, and I'm afraid I'm put on pounds? You could put on pounds both ways. You have to consciously choose what to eat. I had said it in this vlog, right in the Dollar Tree vlog. I said, I just wondered up until now. I'm like, God, you told me not to edit that out. Yeah, God's ways are not our ways, and God's thoughts are not our thoughts. Yeah, the first change that I made that got me back in them pair of jeans that I joked about not being able to wear and all that other stuff is when I went back. When it came to the category of meats, it was lean meats, omega-3 meats, protein, heavy proteins. I also want you to note that everyone has a different genetic makeup. I'm not a medical professional, meaning that your family could have a different medical condition that affects your ability to lose weight or gain it at a rapid rate or at a slower rate. Okay, so I'm just sharing my own personal experience. Please consult with your doctor. Okay. Lean meats, fish, the most common of fish. You either get it canned or you either get it in the package or you either get it fresh. When you're cooking it, you want to make sure that you are sauteing in healthy fatty oils. What are healthy fatty oils? Olive oil. It doesn't have a high heat point. Avocado oil, unless you're allergic. Then coconut oil. Try to get, I don't know whether it's refined or unrefined. Try to get the coconut oil that won't make everything you cook taste like coconuts, because that's going to be annoying. Lean proteins. You don't want to be like, okay, I'm going to go all overboard with all proteins with no fat in it. Fat is needed because fat is flavor. I forgot where I learned that. Fat is flavor. So you need you need a certain percentage of fat within your proteins must become the staple unless you have certain dietary restrictions. Please see Doc. Please ask Doc about that. That's one of the first thing I did. Number 2, I began to incorporate exercise. Now, for those that saw the video about surviving your period and then what foods to eat during your period, I mentioned exercise as something. Walking, you don't have to do anything strenuous, mama. You don't got to do nothing strenuous. Walking is one of the most powerful forms of exercise because it's cardio. And if I can recall, cardio is related to your heart health. I'm not a medical professional. Okay. Disclaimer is on the screen. The moment I began having those cardio walks, and I mean, like the way that I'm in stores, I walk a whole lot. When I carry y'all in the stores with me and I'm vlogging and I'm showing you the latest body care or what they have, that's a form of cardio walking. I'm getting cardio at the same time I'm in there showing y'all what's new in the store. You're essentially you're multitasking. You're getting 2 things done in a span of 1 trip. And then once I leave from the store, I'm having to still walk or take a certain mode of transportation. And then I'm coming back home. You see what I'm saying? I have got my exercise for the day. You also, if you need to, if you have any parks in your area, good safe parks, okay? Walking is going to help you. If you have a corner store not far from you and it's safe, anywho, walk. That's how you're going to get your cardio in. And I was doing that very often on top of eating the lean proteins. Doing that very often. I'm kind of mixing both categories here together. Also, I began incorporating vegetables just because I was no longer just because I'm no longer vegetarian anymore and no longer pursuing veganism, did not mean that you know what, I'm going to just throw away all the knowledge, all the things I learned, how to cook, all the creative ways I picked up on how to cook vegetables and all the vegetables I discovered when I was vegetarian. So what I did is I not only combined the proteins, the lean proteins, with a little bit of fat percentage, because fat is flavor. You want to have a certain percentage of fat in there because fat is flavor. And also if you have fat in there, which is flavor, it keeps you from using less seasoning and less salt, because salt is not going to be your best friend either when it comes to losing pounds. All right. I'm saying this all from experience. I didn't want to throw away all that knowledge. So what I would do is lean protein, a vegetable, and I'll either saute it, air fry it. If you got an air fryer, bake it. I tried some roasted Brussels sprouts one time. They accidentally got roasted in the air fryer. Let them go a little bit too long. Baby, I sat and ate them things. Them some of the best things ever. Don't ask what I seasoned them with. They was good, very good. Yeah, I still incorporated vegetables. I just found creative ways to air fry, roast, saute, on the stove top, use a variety of seasonings, and try to make sure you're using seasonings that aren't that much salt. And if you are using a whole lot of salt, I'll tell you what, start off by putting a little bit of salt in your food as you're cooking it, or cook it without. This is another change that I made. Of course, I've been doing this prior to becoming vegetarian, and then I've just never changed that no matter what my dietary restrictions were. And this is something I still do. What I would do is I call it a layering method for me seasoning food. So what I would do is I would either cook the food without seasoning at all, or maybe at the most add parsley if it's appropriate. Then once the food is done, I put the seasoning on the side. Or either I put a little bit of seasoning at a time, mix it up within the meal, and then see how I like it. That way you're only gradually adding the salt as it's already done, because the meal started off unseasoned. Some people don't like it. I like my food seasoned. But what matter more, seasoned food or you at the doctor's office? How you want to do this? Sis, how you want to do this, brother man? How do you want to do this? You tell me. Yeah, I'm trying to make this as short and sweet as possible. Cardio walks. Since I mixed them two categories together, you'd be surprised what. Just try walking 1 day a week. Bump it up to 2 days a week, 3 days a week. If 5 days a week or 7 days a week is too much, designate specific times to do it. Instead of, you know what, I'm going to get so-and-so delivered. If it's within walking distance, walk there. If it's safe, the Lord will cover you, but ask the Lord. And if the Lord is like, nah, don't walk this day, he'll help you figure it out and try it. Just like it's good for helping regulate your menstrual cycle, it's also good in the areas of losing weight. It's going to become excellent when it comes to that. When I found the results of it, I'm just like, well, how do I keep this up? I was thinking that after my birthday that month, 2 years and about 3 months ago, almost 4, I said, you know what? I thought in I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be very honest with you. After I discovered in my birthday month, over 2 years ago, that I'm just, you know what? I lost all this weight. It's probably going to be back, because my birthday month is right along the time frame of the holidays. And that's usually when folks become thickums, or they become more thickums. Nothing is wrong with that. I'm just using it as a descriptor. A descriptive word. You usually pack on more pounds because that cake and them cookies, and then you get to overdoing it, and better to eat it when you should have been smelling like it than eating it, my dear. Okay. Yeah. And I just figured, well, with the holidays around the corner, I'm probably going to put this back on. With Thanksgiving around the corner, I'm probably going to put these pounds back on. Baby, I don't remember the conversation God had with me, but God just had me to continue eating like I was eating. I continued to do that. I continued to eat the lean proteins with a little bit of fat, because fat is flavor. I wound up using a little bit less of seasoning. That's something I've done regardless of my dietary restrictions. So vegan, non-vegan, eating all the meats with extreme caution, with extreme discernment. I've been doing that layering method with my seasonings. I don't remember the conversation, but he just kept having me to eat the same way. Lean proteins with a little bit of fat. The layering seasoning method. The cardio walks. Whenever I can get a chance to walk, I would walk. I don't care if it was around the corner, up the street. I would walk. Or if I wanted to find a designated place or a designated recreational area, I would walk. Whenever I'd be going to vlog and show y'all in the stores, I would walk. I would nearly walk around half the store or a certain section. I would go walk through all the sections of the store of all the, you ever wonder why? Well, why is she going down to the oral hygiene, and now she on the lotions, and now she on the feminine hygiene? I was getting my workouts done while I was getting the videos, while I was getting the eye full of videos and content for y'all. We was multitasking, getting two things done at once. All of that was going down. And so God just had me to just keep doing the same thing. Also, you want to get yourself a comfortable pair of shoes if you're going to attempt to do the cardio walks. I am not a fitness expert at all. Get yourself some very comfortable shoes, preferably ones that match the unique shape of your feet. Provides comfort, especially if you're going to go out working for 30 minutes, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I just kept doing the same things. I kept roasting the vegetables, sauteing the vegetables, baking the vegetables, seasoning the vegetables like it was the lean protein, and I would put it right alongside that in another side dish. Sometimes it would be 2 vegetables and a protein, 2 proteins and a vegetable, but I would try my best to incorporate in there on top of cardio. Walking is cardio, so I just call them cardio walks. I kept doing all of the same things, including the layering seasoning method. Look, you looking for, well, this must be a secret formula. Ain't no secret. God directed me through all of this. He is the reason why I've been able to keep this off. He's the reason why I still can't fit these pants 2 years and almost 2.5 years later. That's the reason why. Now, that's how you keep it off. That's how you keep it off. If you are struggling with anything, if you would like to leave anything in the comments, if you guys have lost weight and then gained it back and you just feel like, well, goodness, I ain't been able to get it back off, maybe I might be able to help you. Leave some questions in the comments. If I don't have an answer for you, I may be able to direct you to someone that could help you, or direct you to a resource, or give you some search terms to look for to get you started. But you can lose weight and keep it off. But you have got to be, one, committed to God, committed to listening to what God tells you. Like, I wouldn't eat that no more. I wouldn't eat no more of them cookies no more. I wouldn't eat that fried sandwich no more. I would switch from fried to baked. I would do that. I would see if I could replicate it. That's the first things first. You have got to be committed to God, committed to being consistent. And number 3, you have got to be able to make different variations of what he tells you to eat on top of your doctor and dietitian. Okay? And because you could be like, let's say I was only eating chicken during them 2 years, if almost 4 months. There's only so many ways you can have chicken. No, it's not. You could bake it. You could fry it. There's 11 type of seasonings. You could chicken fried rice, chicken soup, chicken and rice soup, cream of chicken, dump that rice in there and season it a particular way. In order for you to keep it off that particular area of food, you have got to be able to take a staple food, like protein is a staple, a grain like rice is a staple, pasta is a staple for some people. Unless that's a dietary restriction, you might lean on some other grain. You got to be willing to alternate with the ways you cook it and the ways you season it and what you pair it with. That way you'll have a variety of what to eat and you can make it stretch while still not going off board. You're not going off track with what you're eating. This is just my personal opinion. As a bonus, I will share this. Between the 3 years that I was vegetarian, not vegan, I wasn't all the way there yet. I will say this. When it came to my hygiene products, baby, they lasted a long time on top of and also they lasted a longer time. Okay, they still last okay, but I noticed the difference between when I'm eating but I noticed the difference between when I'm staying within my eating regimen versus if I slip or have a cheat day of eating and so forth. When I was eating vegetarian, when it came to vitamins and supplements, them things went to work. You'll have to catch that and listen to it multiple times and ask God what I mean by that. They went to work. Now when I take supplements, they still go to work. They're still effective, but it's only because I'm being consistent with my now current eating plan. So although I'm not vegetarian anymore, it's still benefiting me. You see what I'm saying? You want to drink a lot of water as well. That's going to help you. I've said that oodles of time. And I repeated the same when it comes to weight loss too. I drank a lot of water on top of cardio walks, on top of lean protein with a little bit of fat, that seasoning method, and just finding a variety of ways to have those three things, incorporating vegetables and roasting, air frying, sauteing, heart healthy oils to cook with, or high fat oils that are also healthy to cook with, olive and avocado. You don't have to mix them together. It just made a big difference for me, drinking a whole lot of water. If you're going to drink juice, try to dilute it or try to find one that is not in the double-digit range of sugars and grams. Most don't have that. And I like to mention that because some people gonna be like, ain't know how they make no juice that not in the double digits of the grams. That's why you got water, baby. Okay? That's why you got water, sis. That's why we got water, brother. That's why we do. We got water. Use the water that I dilute that juice. Cranberry juice for the ladies is gonna be your best friend. It's gonna make you smell great. I also noticed that I noticed this actually both times. When I was vegetarian, I smelled great when it came to my lady parts. It's going to affect how you smell. If how you're eating and what you're drinking is affecting how you smell when it comes to hygiene, that's something that's very heavy on this channel. Now combining it together with what you eat, what you drink, you should be drinking a whole lot of water, baby. Try. Man, when I tell you the difference it's going to make. Those perfumes are going to wear better on your skin. They're going to absorb better in your skin. Now, I don't suggest you spray it directly on your skin, but if you're going to do it, it's going to wear better. You're going to smell better. Your body chemistry is going to thank you for it. I thank God for it primarily. And number two, more than likely, it's probably my body chemistry. Number two, after God. And just being consistent with it all, because I owe everything to God about that. But if you'd like to see more videos about what to eat when it comes to hygiene, and now weight loss is a part of it. This is all in all my testimony. On top of this, I'm going to link you to a few videos that you may have interest in, or either put them as a pinned comment in this video. That is how I've kept it off by the grace of God for the past 2 years and 3 months. I love each and every one of you. Peace.
When I think about love, it's one of the bravest things that you can do. It is patient. It is kind. It does not envy or boast. And it'll keep you on the coast of not being rude or self-seeking. Nor is it easily angered or seething mad. And it keeps no records of wrongs. It has no pleasure in evil, but it rejoices in the truth. And most of all,